All right, if you get a credit cards thing in the mail, you're going to find something dealing with this information somewhere in it, where they tell you the beginning annual percentage rate, right? But notice that there is a penalty APR, meaning if you have a late payment, exceed your credit limit, whatever, they will penalize you. First, they'll charge you a fee, then they jack up your percentage rate, so you're going to pay more in interest. So notice, late payment fee of $30, return payment fee of $25, over the limit fee of $39. So you make these little mistakes here and there, and they will just stab you with fees. Now, a lot of credit cards these days offer cash back with different things. But you want to be careful that you don't let the idea of cash back just blind you from how little you're actually earning. And I'll talk more about this as we go, because cash back can be very fulfilling. But anyway, you'll earn 1% on all purchases after your total annual purchases exceed $3,000. So before you hit your annual $3,000 threshold, you're going to earn less than 1%. For the first 1,500, 0.25%. On the second 1,500, 0.5%. So the more you spend, the more you earn, but is it really worth it? And we're going to look at that later. Your credit limit is $500. And this is pretty general for a first credit card. They usually give you a small limit, which is nice of them so that you don't get in too far over your head. But it also allows them to slap you with an over-the-limit fee if you put too much on there at one time. All right? Minimum payment, $20 or 5% of the new balance, whichever is greater. So you might have to figure out both of those and do a comparison to figure out which one is bigger. All right, so let's play with this. We've got a friend, Jennifer, and she's not our brightest friend. She's got a new credit card with the above rules, right? Her credit limit is $500. She purchases $195 in school supplies. Maybe she is my friend, because that, my friends, is awesome sauce. At the beginning of the month. What will her cash back reward actually be? Okay, so we're in the first 1,500, so we know that is 0.25% of the $195 is her cash back. So I change percent to a decimal, 0.0025 of means to multiply by $195. When I do this, we're talking about money, round to the nearest penny. She's going to earn 49-cent cash back on her school supplies, right? That's not even a pack of pens. So it's not a whole lot of money she's earning cash back. Okay, so this is the first month, and we're going to say that a grace period is passed so that we can figure out a finance charge. The finance charge is on any previous balances you have, and then purchases that are past the grace period. If your grace period has not expired, you will not accrue a finance charge. But in this case, we're going to assume that her grace period has passed. So when we take the beginning balance plus the purchases, we have $195 that we're going to figure our finance charge on. So remember that her APR is 15.99%. So I take her APR and I divide by 12 because we want it to be a monthly percentage rate, and I multiply by her balance of $195. Now this will give me a finance charge of $2.60. Now she has not gotten any other fees because she wasn't late, she's not over the limit, nothing like that. I think my dog disappeared, timeout. Okay, all's better. So there's no other fees, no late, no over the balance, nothing like that. So the new balance we will take by adding these two values together, and we get a new balance of $197.60. Now you'll see down here it says balance to pay in full. If she paid her credit card before the grace period was over, it would have just been $195. After the grace period, she gets that $2.60 finance charge. So again, we're assuming that she did not pay it in time. So she's got this $197.60. We know the minimum payment is either $20 or 5% of the balance. And 5% of $197.60 gives us $9.88. In this case, $20 is more, so her minimum payment is $20. Okay? So when you go, if she's only going to make the minimum payment, she let the grace period expire, so we have the $197.60 was her balance, she paid the $20 minimum payment, and she's now at 177.60. That, I usually call that the carryover balance, because she's carrying that over from 1 month to the next. And now she's kind of starting in the hole because she owes that money, right? And Jennifer, not our smartest friend, is going to say, woo, I'm earning cash back. I should buy more stuff on my credit card. That is not a good way to think. So she purchases a $400 plane ticket to Cancun. Let's figure out her cash reward because she's excited about it. Remember, she's still in the first $1,500, so that's 0.25% of $400. So 0.0025, right, percent to a decimal, multiplied by 400. She's going to earn $1 back, cash back on her Cancun plane ticket. Good job, Jennifer. High five. Well, you'll notice that she has now exceeded her limit because she had a $177 balance. She put a $400 ticket on there. That puts her over $500. As soon as she hits that, the credit card company says, you screwed up. We hit you with a new APR at 29.99%, and your life is now ours, right? So, if we're looking this, she just purchased a $400 ticket, which is $577.60. Now, again, we are going to assume that her grace period has passed before she paid so that we have a finance charge on that $400 as well. So when I do that, by the way, fees are added after the finance charge. So I take my new 0.2999 APR, divide by 12 to make it a monthly percentage rate, and I multiply by my $577.60. So her finance charge this month is $14.44. Not only did the APR make it bigger, but she has a larger balance besides. So she's got a $14.44 finance charge, and she's over the limit. And if you recall from a couple pages back, her over the limit fee is $39. So if you then add together her latest balance plus her finance charge plus her other fees, we get a new balance of $631.04. And now we can say, okay, her minimum payment is either going to be $20 or 5% of the $631.04. And 5% of the $631.04 is $31.55, so her minimum payment is $31.55. Okay, so and you can probably see, wow, Jennifer's in a heap of trouble, and she is. And this is how credit cards can be dangerous. Credit cards can be very, very good if you know how to manage them. But if you let them get out of control like Jennifer is, they will haunt you forever. So let's just kind of do some little recap here on Jennifer. How much has she earned in cash back? Because she's super excited about that. Well, she earned 49 cents on school supplies and $1 on Cancun. She's up to $1.49. She can buy, well, depending on where she's at, she might be able to buy a 20-ounce soda. Maybe, depending on where she is. How much has she paid in finance charges and other fees? Well, in month 1, she had a $2.60 finance charge. Month 2, she had a $14.44 finance charge, and she had a $39 over the limit fee. She has paid $56.04 in fees. So the credit card company has given her $1.49 cash back, but she has paid them $56.04 in fees. This is why credit cards can't afford to give you cash back, because they're going to earn more on fees than they're going to pay you in the cash back. That's why you have to be super careful. Okay, now, if Jennifer can't make her minimum payment for month 2 on time, her late fee will be $35. And recall, she's still over the limit. And yes, if you're over the limit, they will charge you $39 every month for being over the limit. Not to mention, your balance is higher, so when you use your 0.222999 divided by 12 times your balance, your interest or your finance charge is going to go up. So every month, if you don't pay more, back up. What happened to my screen here? When you get to something like this, you really need to say, okay, my finance charge and my fees together, in this case, are $53.44. I have to pay at least that much. If you don't pay at least your finance charge and your other fees every month, you are going to just go further in the hole and further in the hole and further in the hole. You want to try to pay at least that much if not more, because you really need to make sure that you're not getting yourself deeper in a hole. And if your limit is $500, you need to do something about that, Jennifer. You either need to pay it down so you're under the limit to avoid this $39 over the limit fee, or you need to call up your credit card company and ask for a higher limit. If they raise your limit to $700, at least now you're going to avoid that $39 fee. So you need to be proactive in what you're doing in order to try to save yourself as many problems as possible. And I believe that is the end of this video on application of credit cards.